great day. Yay! December 1st. December 1st. We have made it to December. Who can believe this? God, where did the 2025 go? And not only that, it's minus 15 here today. As you can see, it's kind of snowed a little bit. And it is cold, cold, cold. And the way you can kind of it's really cold and it's probably under minus 10 is or minus 15, I could hear people walking on the snow and it makes a distinct smell. It's almost like, I can't even describe it. It's when the snow is that cold, it makes a certain noise when people walk on it, and you know that it's that cold. And it was, interestingly, I have been thinking about all the different ways that we have, all the different words that we have to describe the cold weather. Hi, boss. How are you? So we have so many ways to describe snow. I was thinking, we have blizzard, but we also have whiteout, and whiteout is different than blizzard. Blizzard still has some visibility. Whiteout has no visibility. If you have ever been in up north, like in Arctic Circle, you know what I mean in terms of whiteout. You can't even see outside. Like, it's just done, no visibility. And then we have flurries. We have you can get graupels. Like, it's not hail and it's not rain and it's not snow. It's something in between them. Anyway, so there's so many ways, and especially in Manitoba where I am, like, there's a lot of words to describe that. But so woke up this morning and I was kind of really craving something soft, something cozy, especially that's Monday, and Mondays are hard. So let me know what you're wearing today to keep you company for a Monday. To let me know what's your scent of the day. I usually try to lighten the mood on Monday mornings by cheer up, but the kids, because they don't want to go to school, nor I want to go to work. But I think that fake smiliness or happiness for the Monday morning hasn't been working. So I tried to. We held a moment of peace for it being Monday, and just try to kind of say that we understand that today's Monday. It's going to be a hard day, but at the end of the day, it's done. I think the kids had fun, and we did some silly jokes, so it seems like that helped them get going. Amouage Portrayal Woman. Oh, you know what, Alicia? I have not tried that. What are the prominent notes on that one for you? I like my amouages, and I think I revisited. I saw a what did I post on Discord? Reflection Woman in vintage. Someone, actually, one of my good friends in Fracom, sent me a link and said, "Oh, if you are interested in Reflection Woman in vintage formulation or vintage presentation, then here it is. You could there's a link, and it was a really good price for 100 ml of a vintage formulation. So even though before I didn't like it, I was like, I can't pass it. Maybe I should revisit. So I got a bottle. And I must say, it is interesting. It is interesting. I can't say that I like it now, but it is an interesting fragrance. Smooth says, Mitra, pleased to meet ya. Moose, you're following Dushan's footsteps. Hi, everyone. I'm just popping in to say hello and like the stream. I'm at work, so gotta go soon as my boss shows up. Hey, say hi to the boss and have a good day at work. This is Jasmine Tobacco Vanilla. Ooh, maybe I should. Is it discontinued, Alicia? Because I know they discontinued a bunch of stuff. I know that I did not, for a fact, I did not like Myth, and I didn't Myth Woman, and I didn't like Journey Woman. Those were not my kind of thing. I like Reflection Man. Reflection Man is nice. It's very nice. I don't know if I've tried Reflection Man or just the Reflection 45. I think I only have tried Reflection 45. At the time I tried it, it was nice, but it was just had too masculine for me. I don't know. Yes, it has been discontinued already. Here we go. Trace with amouages. Yeah. So I have a vintage Opus 6 coming to me. It's been a while, but it will get to me about February. Hi, Dushan, how are you? Jubilation 25. Yes, Jubilation 25. Both men and women, they're very nice. I also like Jubilation 40. I know some people don't like it, but I still like Jubilation 40. Um, Jubilation 25 woman, that's a Shipra, right? Like, I'm just gonna look at the Jubilation 25 woman. I think that's a Shipra. Jubilation 25 woman. I have to be in the mood. Like, to be honest, I'm not gonna pretend that. I feel like there's this kind of like a subset of people in Fracom that they're very proper, and whatever. And there are certain people who love Shipras, and my friend Charlene is one of them. She's like, she loves Shipra, and I can see that in the context of what just. But I feel like there's some pretend Shipra lovers as well, and that's just they like it for the sake of snobbiness. I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just judging. I should not be doing that. But um, anyways, but for me, Chypre is not ever an easy, grab and go and spray kind of genre fragrance. For me, I have to be in the mood for Chypre. It has to be the day for Chypre. I have to be dressed up for the Chypre. I can't, I can't just like go and spray it like willy nilly, like the Chypre fragrance. And it has to be in a certain way. Oak moss, to be honest, I'm not, and I know this is a blasphemy for vintage lovers. I am not a huge lover of oak moss in huge overdoses. I am not. Like, it has to be softened out. Like, it otherwise it just, deters me from the fragrance. It is too much if I feel like the fragrance is wearing me rather than I'm wearing the fragrance. While I can pull all the masculine amber incense, like really hardcore, like woody, and sometimes quite rough leathers. Chypre, for whatever reason, it's not me at all. And I know it smells great on my friend, and on some people it's just not for me, and there's nothing wrong with that, I think. I have Juby man and woman. Oh, nice. Do you have Juby 25? I think Eugene had me try the Juby 25. Was that the Juby 25 he had me try, like the vintage man? I'm not sure. I think I tried Eugene's. Diamant is nice too. I love Ishipra and Fougere. Yes, Fougères are very nice. I love Fougères. Like, I feel like, isn't that there's this thing about Fougères, like the old Fougères were also worn, like vintage Fougères were worn by women first. Understandable, but I do love a heavy oak moss. Yeah, I mean, you have your taste, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, while Charlene, my friend, can pull all sort of Chypres, she's not very much fan of leather, where I love leather in the fragrance ever since, like, I don't know, something snapped in my brain and I started loving leather. Um, I like Reflection Man, but does it feel like Reflection Man doesn't belong in the Amouage Cala? Yes. The Reflection 45 doesn't feel like it because it's almost like a French dude trapped in a Middle Eastern group of friends. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I feel like. Alicia, this is a perfume which is a perfect combo for Chypre and Fougere, and it is Balenciaga Parome. Oh, Balenciaga Parome. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. No, true, I cannot type your name, but hello. Oh, autocorrect socks. Yes, yes, yes. Autocorrect socks. I also love vintage oak moss. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own taste, right? Like, maybe 10 years from now, I will be into oak moss all of a sudden. I never, ever, never, ever, I thought when I started my fragrance thing that I would like leather fragrances. And look at me now. Like, I love leather fragrances. Never, ever I thought I would be an Iris fan when I started. And look at me now. Certain things I knew, like vanilla, I would like it. Amber, I would like it. Incense, it was just it was a yes. But the other ones, they were an acquired taste over time. Oak moss makes me think of a clone I got by Afnan. Oak moss and blackcurrant. Ugh, that sounds horrible. Oak moss, oak moss, oak moss. Hi, Demi. Oh, I love leather too. Yes, I know. Sometimes I don't know, Alicia, why. It is so funny. Like we don't, Alicia and I, like we don't, like I've seen her like videos and I've seen her like, in chats and stuff, but we don't talk like in person or whatever. But I have built a persona from you and I have selected fragrances for you in my mind and I never know if they're gonna fit you or not. But I have this. Imagine, and I don't know if you guys ever do it, like, it's someone who you don't really know intimately, but like you imagine fragrances for them. Like, I don't know why. It's just based on her personality. I know she likes a good chypre, she likes a good leather, she likes sometimes with quite a bit of animalic notes, and she doesn't mind at all like masculine leaning fragrances. Mitra will love Shaker Bellamy. What a stunning leather accord. Yeah, Anusha sent me a Bellamy vetiver, and that's an absolutely beautiful one. Super messy, not only strong, silly name. Oh, not strong, intense. Oh, Supremacy. I think I've seen that Afnan stuff. The Supremacy or whatever that is. I've heard that name. I just never. I was never. I don't know. I don't know what is this with me and the clones and dupes. Like I did at some point. I did own dupes of certain fragrances from the House of Dua. If you can believe it or not, like you can curse me all you want. But I did own a like bunch of them, upwards of probably 20 bottles of Dua of the discontinued fragrances. And then at some point, they were all discontinued fragrances. There was nothing that it was actually like in market. Like there was a dupe of Iris Ganache, was a dupe of Midnight Poison. There was like dupe of Shanghai Lily and things like that. So you can hate me all you want, but at some point I started smelling something that what people talk about in the Dua fragrance is called like a burnt hair, and I don't know if that is some sort of amberwood. I don't think it is. It's just annoying and headache inducing for me. It's not like a the way that I smell amberwood and I want to throw up in certain amberwood fragrances. So I started smelling that and I sold them all. Got rid of them all. And also that at that point when I started selling them all, I had acquired some of these fragrances like in the original format. So I had bought like whatchamacallit. I had bought Midnight Poison. I had Shanghai Lily. I eventually got my hand on Iris Ganache, so I didn't really need all these dupes of it. And sometimes in the past, I had used what's called oil perfumery. No, there's this kind of things that makes dupe oils, like small vials of dupe oils. So sometimes when I got into the fragrance, um, really niche fragrances, I bought a few of them just to give me an idea of what these fragrances are about or like what genre they are, even though sometimes they were not accurate. At the point, I used it for that, and I did not mind it. But I've sold them all. I don't have. There's this thing with me. I don't. Still, I feel like if somebody is making a dupe or a clone of something that's discontinued, is very difficult to get, and making it more accessible. That's one thing. But like dupe of everything that is available on market for people who can afford the original. I don't know. I don't know. I have this thing about that, and I don't know if I'm a snobby or not, but I have this. I don't know. I feel strange about it. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. It is probably. I mean, I don't know. Some people are saying that some of them smell as good as the original. It is. Is it or is it not? I really don't want to go down that route. And also, kind of like scares me that some of these duper cologne companies have like sketchy regulations. I don't know what their testing things are. As it is, I try to not put fragrances on my skin because, it ages your skin by, like, especially the ones that contain oil. So there's that. Anyways, let's, everyone fell asleep in my tangent. So I want to talk about today the house of Boadecia. And this is the house that gets a lot of, I think it is flack. I kept saying slack, and it's not slack. I think this is the house that gets a lot of flack. Flack. I'm just keep it in my mind. So this house came to my, and talking about, actually it's a good segue from the dupes and clones. It came to my attention when I had a cherry phase, like a while ago, maybe I don't know, it's probably like, I want to say end of 2021, going into 2022. Now I remember, and the reason I'll tell you why. Um, at the time, I had this kind of cherry phase, and I wanted to have every fragrance that had a cherry note. I went through this cherry phase, and Bodacious came from there. Like for me, like some people talked about Bodacious, I reached out to someone, and these are so hard to get in North America, but even back then, even was worse. I think partly because the house is in UK, so getting anything out of UK is almost like impossible. So it was very difficult to get this brand in here. But I reached out to someone I knew that they stock Bodacious, and I ended up getting one. I know that because we were almost like we were going through we were going to States on ground. Like I'm about like 80 kilometers from the border here, so and I was just like, oh my god, let me just make this purchase before we hit the border, because I won't have cell phone coverage when we get the other way. But anyways, tells you the degree of your problems. I was not driving, FYI. So so it came to my attention then. I got Bodacious, and later I found out that people were saying that it was a dupe of Tom Ford Lost Cherry, which I still don't think it is. Like, it has cherry, but it's more kind of like a deeper, woodier cherry than Lost Cherry. Obviously, has a better longevity and projection, and it was interesting because the bottles are, to be honest, I'm gonna give them credit for these bottles and their presentation. They're nice. I like the bottles. I like the bottles. They're quite heavy. The cap is not magnetic. Oof, spat out some fragrance on me. Cap is not magnetic or anything, but they're quite nice. The only also issue is like these bottles, they never come full. So this is probably like, I think probably this is the third time I wore this fragrance. I usually do 2-3 sprays. So when you get it, and if it's this low, it's normal. You may get it quite low. And some bottles I've seen, even brand new in box, they come a little bit of a lower level. These bottles are heavily faked, even though at the beginning there was no fakes of these fragrances, but now there is a lot of it. Partly, some of them are fake in the bottle, like the bottle itself is fake and everything else about it is fake, and some of them are refilled with fake, that's another problem, because there was a retailer who was selling the empty testers or near empty testers. And guess what? There was like fakes filled with juices of stuff popped in eBay everywhere. So the way usually you could tell the fake of these bottles is that when you look, I don't know if you could see it here. So in these bottles, and you look at the stem of this, I don't know if you see, but there's a little metal bulb inside the sprayer. I think that makes it just one pump, so you can't really decant really well out of these bottles. Like you can't really decant, just makes it just one time thing. And that metal ball is missing in the completely fake. Obviously, you won't know if it's a juice is fake by looking at the bottle, because the bottle might be authentic, but that metal ball is missing in the fake bottles. And then sometimes the difference in the pattern, like they can't make it, and some of them are quite complex fragrances from this category, quite complex from in this category, and they can't make the pattern very well. Mind you, though, like even looking at this one, it's not a perfect shape around, so it has some flaws on its own. So it becomes really difficult to know, but there are lots of fakes of them. This house has a million fragrances, and then they also discontinue a lot of them. So they have lots of fragrances in I think it's a Fragrantica database. So how many they have Fragrantica? But they discontinue a lot of them. They bring a lot of them. They discontinue them. All sort of stuff. So I'm missing. I'm like, why is chat is not moving? And I'm like, everybody fell asleep here. Let me just catch up. I have that artisanal fragrance with 100% natural ingredients, and it contains oak moss, but it smells really nice. I guess it helps that it's mixed with tons of vanilla. So yes, I feel like for my don't mind my little blankie here. For my oak moss, I need something to make it. I'm on my break. Hello. Hi, Lily. How are you? Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their own taste. Lunchtime here. Ooh, hydroshan, hypnotic poison EDP. Ooh, nice. Hypnotic poison. I love hypnotic poison. I think it's only EDT available right now, is it? Like EDP is discontinued. Alicia, do you love perfume? The Parfum de Toilette of Roche's Femme. Of course she does. I think she does. Cobra, I have no clue. Aventus has black currant in it. Really? I didn't know that. Does the cherry have the 1980s cough medicine smell? Horrible memories of being sick as a kid. Funny now. It's a trauma. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't get that from Bodacious. I do get it from certain ones that are very cough syrupy. But mind you, those were the fondest memory of my childhood. Okay. I complain why my kids don't want to go to school, even though I have spent, just trying to calculate how much of my life I spent in school. I have spent 25 years of my life in school, and my kids don't want to go to school, but there has been never a day that I wanted to go to school. I just don't like it. So, I did fake illness a lot, to the point of back then in Iran, like they would, I would say my throat, I had big tonsils, so my throat was, I would say my throat is sore, and there were a lot of times that I had actually real tonsillitis, and then they would give me like an antibiotic injection. So like it's funny, they ran like injection doesn't need you don't need to go to the to the hospital to get the injection. You could go to these places that it's not a clinic, like it's these people just are expertise is giving injections, and you can get your antibiotic injection from the pharmacy and take it to the place and they give you the injection. So and I'd get that, and then at some point I clued in that I could probably fake the illness and even fool the doctor. And I would rather get the injection than going to school. And hence also the cough syrup came part of that, and what I'm getting, circling back to that I would also get cough syrup because I was coughing, fake coughing. And you know what? I was not going to school. So I was happy with that. So cough syrup for me is not really traumatizing, but I do not get that from the Bodacious. I still have not owned any cherry fragrances. It took me long to love gourmand scents, and now I have vanilla flakes. So maybe I'll love someday. Who knows? Yeah, if you like a sophisticated cherry, look into iris and cherry combination. Iris and cherry combinations there are not a lot of fragrances that I know of have iris and cherry combination. But for example, Moroccan iris from Lorga Parfums has black. Iris and cherry combinations are quite sophisticated. I would get, I would try Lorga Parfum's iris and cherry, Moroccan iris. That's an absolutely beautiful one. Hi, Gian. How are you? Just about Cobra game, Mr. Boozy. Yes, I love PDT and Cologne of Roche's Femme. Just picking my scent of the day, Amra Sultan. Hi Patchy. Amra Sultan with my sleet eyes. Yes. Amra Sultan. Nice choice. Amra Sultan is lovely. Y'all, after Rich, I don't know if you've seen Rich's video about Amra Sultan Eau Fresh, which is something that I've never heard of. I reached out, I commented on Shelter Eggs, one of the Shelter Eggs videos. And I said, I have a question about Amber Sultan fragrances, but there's no way you can't direct message Christopher Sheldrake on Instagram, which is a smart thing for someone to do. And I said, I can't reach out to you directly. Is there a way that I can ask you a question? And he actually responded back to me and said, what is your question? So I was going to ask him about Eau Fraiche and if there's any other ones that are in Eau Fraiche. Hasn't responded yet, but I'm waiting for you, Chris. If you're watching me, please answer. And I am super, super excited about my Ambre Sultan, the Confit de Parfum, which is the oil. It better be good. I got that and the Chergui one in Confit, which is the 25 ml ones. Anyways, with Boadecia, I don't know what the brand story is and what's going on behind the brand. I know there was some sort of drama with the brand, and some of the perfumers left and went to another house, and there was all sort of other things, and there's so many fragrances from the house that they get discontinued, and and then they ask, and everyone is looking for them. It's hard to get them, so I don't know. Hold on, Boadecia tourist designer. Okay, let's open up and see quickly before we shut down again. I don't know why is YouTube doing that. Like, keeps shutting down my lives. So they have 187 perfumes in Fragrantica database, which is ridiculous. If you have tried anything from this house that you liked and I didn't mention earlier, let me know. I have also tried Kava. I didn't really appreciate that one. That wasn't something for me. If you've tried anything in this house, especially if it has amber, iris, anything like that, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all those nice things. And I gotta go because I have a meeting in 2 minutes. I shall see you guys later. Please like this stream, guys. Do so. It's only 5 likes. I can see you later. Bye-bye.